I've never sat down at the front before. It's quite nice. So this is my friend Ari, and I heard that Ari had a story of healing that happened to him last year. So I'm going to ask him about that at the end of the interview, because getting to know Ari a little bit better over the last couple of weeks, we've been working on a project together, I've just sensed what a wonderful kingdom view he has for the work that he's involved in. So Ari, first of all, what do you do? What is your day job?
My day job's, I work for the university. I run a research lab, and we work on how to get plants to grow in very extreme environments, and how the climate is affecting how the kind of crops we grow and the kind of food we eat, and the nutrition that's balanced all over the world. So I run a research lab. There's about 10 of us in the lab, 5 PhD students, a few post-PhD students, and we get a lot of fun. And they're from all over the world, so it's great fun when we do like Christmas dinners, potluck. It's fantastic.
Do you have a regional role as well?
Yeah, so the north of England has one of the biggest universities that you can see, and the most oldest ancient university in Durham is clearly one of them. Across from, if you look at the map from left to right, you can go from Lancaster, Liverpool, Manchester, York, Leeds, Sheffield, or the other way around, and then Durham and Newcastle. These are the most research-intensive universities that you find anywhere in Europe or across the world. And they all specialize in one major topic, that is how to get agriculture, the productivity. And some of the biggest landowners where they have these farms are also in the north of England. So they altogether there are about nearly several hundred researchers working in this area, and they have enormous amount of talent. So what they did was that they told this exact thing to the minister and asked them for money, so we can all work together. And they funded millions of pounds to try and get all of us together to work together. So I am, if you like, the Durham lead for this research-intensive network.
That's amazing. So you're working in trying to increase production from plants to help people. What led you into that role? What was the inspiration for you to go into that career?
Well, some of it's a lot of it is God really, and some of it's I grew up in Singapore, and as you know probably now, Singapore has lots and lots of food. It's fantastic. It's a world leading country for all sorts of things. But when I was growing up in Singapore about 30 years ago, more than that now, it was coming away from colonial rule and out of Malaysia into an independent country where there was lots of racial riots and there's not enough food. I remember as a child, my mother asking for my neighbour for food because she had 5 boys to feed and she couldn't feed them, so she had to choose who ate what at which time to kind of balance it out. And this is one of the issues, nutrition and balanced nutrition across the world. It's a really big problem. By the time this interview finishes, 10 children would have died of malnutrition and lack of food. It's nothing to do with wars, nothing to do with politics, just stuff not growing in their country and no food being produced. So I kind of had it in my mind that if I ever grow up to be something, or if I live through this, something, that I want to make a contribution. And I remember rice was very important to me, so I want to make a contribution to growing rice and how, I'm a geneticist, I'm a molecular geneticist, so how we can improve how rice grows. And rice plants are affected by flooding when the monsoons come across half of Asia, which is a huge landmass. Every year, about 2 million people die of starvation when the monsoons come and floods rice completely. In the north of England, believe it or not, we have technology that can allow this rice to grow underwater for 12 days.
Wow.
I mean, this is like a miracle. If you didn't know how we do it, you saw this is a miracle. Right?
Yeah, great. So tell us how has being a Christian helped you in your role?
Well, as a scientist, you're always questioning everything, and I got saved in the Alpha course in Norwich some time ago. So I always kind of question everything, and I need a logical view of how things are done. And God always challenges me, okay, that's great, But you know, sometimes I can take the scales off your eyes so you can see further than most people, and sometimes you stand on the shoulders of giants, you can see further, so my colleagues have been really, really helpful with that. But sometimes, when I talk about how protein or DNA is made, I get from A to C without understanding how I understood B. So this kind of leaps I get from time to time, and I can't really say it outside a Christian context because I have no way of explaining it. I know how to explain it, but there's no way I can explain to someone without A, being arrogant, or B, sounding like a know-it-all. So it doesn't work like that. But I can see patterns that come out of DNA and stuff like that, that I feel, I know, as a Christian, is prophetic. It's God kind of helping me out in my career, you know, throwing a few things and I'm grabbing it. I'm grateful. Every morning I come in and I pray, scraps off your table, Lord, that's good enough for me. And I think that's good enough. So it's been good enough.
Wonderful. And is there anything in particular that we could support you, to pray for you, you're currently facing?
Yeah, so when I came to this job, I wanted to make a contribution to how we can alleviate some of this poverty or hunger. I know these are big goals, but you've got to have goals in your life when you want to start doing stuff. And Durham is a very, very, very influential university across the world. This is a world-class university, and it's a really small town, Durham. Most of the time you mention Durham, it's Durham, USA, or Durham, the original Durham. So it's a very powerful university. So I pray about it, and because I'm part of this huge network of powerful universities, God gave me a vision about trying to put them all together, all the experts together into, if you like, I want a better word, like a pipeline, a system whereby we can look at problems in agriculture across the world. So any country that's prospered has always managed to sort out its agriculture first. If we didn't sort out agriculture in the UK in the 1800s, then half of this room wouldn't be here. They would have been dead, or they would have never had enough nutrition to make it. So agriculture is very, very important. And in the second phase of this century, last century, the same thing called Green Revolution occurred in the 60s, where the same agriculture improvements was transferred across the poorer countries. And that was done so that these people's agriculture can be sorted out, and it's coming through. Now, in order to do that, they are now hit a wall to improve it further. The wall is that we don't have technology that can be transferred across into these countries. And this pipeline, these research-intensive universities across the north of England have this technology. We can right now, today, grow apple trees in the deserts of Israel, in the Negev desert, you know, and we can grow plants, crops, for example, like rice, in seawater. So we have those technologies that are available, but it's locked in the north of England. Okay, I want to try and put them all together to get them to move some of these into countries where we really, really need them. We need them as well because people here are hungry and people here lack nutrition, and that affects their development. So, but in order for me to put them all together, that's what God's given me as a vision, try and put them all together. But there's lots of people who want to try and stop that. So if you have time, can you please pray for that? The first meeting is tomorrow at the Royal County Hotel in the same room where the Durham Miners Gala people stand up and look at it. So I would really like to pray for that, if you could pray for this thing. I don't mind if it's taken off my hands once I've done it. As long as it happens, I'm happy.
Yeah. As I've been speaking to Ari, I've just been so impressed with his kingdom view that he has. So the idea that God has put him in a position where he can influence things, but it's for God's kingdom. And I wanted him to share that so we can all be encouraged. Whatever you are doing, God has a plan for you in that place. The ultimate result of being a Christian is not to become a church pastor. Okay, I think I want to dismiss that. We need people in every walk of life who are Christians, who love God, love Jesus, and have a kingdom view on how they can influence and bring about God's kingdom into these places. So, bringing Ari on, I mean, Ari is a great guy. He's not special. We are all special. We all have a plan that God has brought us into. We've all been gifted and talented differently. And it's using that gift and having that kingdom mindset, which I hope Ari's story will really help us view. I'm going to briefly pray for him and for this Northern Pipeline, and then I'm going to ask him about his knees. He had a problem with his knees last year. So Father, I do so thank you for Ari sharing that story. I thank you for the vision that you have given him for this Northern Pipeline. I thank you for opening his mind and opening his world slightly to us to understand it. And we ask, Spirit of God, that tomorrow as this meeting happens at the Royal County Hotel, that your Spirit will be in power there. You will give Ari the right words to use, that you will sort out yourself all the politics that might be going on. You will sort out egos, and that you will bring success for your kingdom through this Northern Pipeline, so that many people can be secure and have food security. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. So I alluded to it a few minutes ago, but I heard last year you had a really bad problem with your knees.
Yeah, so I used to play hockey a lot, and also as a child growing up in Singapore, where it didn't have all the balanced food, you don't develop at the same rate as someone who has all of them. But being a sportsman, you try to push the body all the time, and I've lost cartilage on both knees. So I don't have any cartilage on both knees, as far as I know. Not much anyway. So I've developed osteoarthritis, and it was enormous, it was really painful, and I could not walk 50 meters without stopping. And it was, and even standing there and worship, it was hard. I had to shift my weight on one knee and then to another knee, and sometimes sit down and sometimes stand up, and it was really, really painful. I couldn't go for walks, and then pain is a cycle, so the more pain you get, the less activity you do, the more, I'm a biochemist, so the more inflammatory response you get, and you start to go into this depression, and I was starting to slowly spiral into that. And I got prayed 2 years ago, I think. Mark Dupont is here, and he asked someone to come up, pray for healing, so I went out there, and we all stood in like an arc, and I was in one corner, and he prayed for my knee, along with a couple of people from this church, prayed for me. I laid hands on it, nothing happened. Right, so nothing happened. I was still in pain, So I went to see the doctors. Doctors, I've seen them before as well. They said, well, you know, you're in your 40s, so take some tablets, take some anti-inflammatories, and we'll see you in your 60s and give you a new knee. That's probably what you need. Your knee shouldn't be this bad. I went, I can't get a new knee. You know, I can't get parking in the first place. Why get free parking now? But, so the problem was, I then went to see the physio. He gave me insoles. It was working, but I still couldn't walk far enough, and I was taking these chondroitin tablets to replace, trying to build the cartilage up. Nothing happened. I think it was May. He prayed for some point in June. I remember now, a Wednesday or a Thursday. The next day, if the pain was 10, on a Tuesday, the pain was like a 5 on a Wednesday. And then I started to walk more, and I started to walk more and more. This is like a year now, and the pain is on both knees. Remember, if I could show you an X-ray thing, you'll see the huge amount of scar tissue that's formed, and then you can't straighten your leg anymore, and you get bend and bend and bend, you can't straighten. I can straighten my leg. There is pain, but it's nothing like a 10. It's more like a 1 or a 2. And worse days when the weather's cold, and we are in North England, it goes to a 3. I could not run. You know, I could not run across the road. If a car came, I had to move. If I can't walk fast enough, I'm dead. Right. But now I can't sprint, but I can run. I mean, if you run, you carry 3 times your body weight over your ankles, and I could never do it before, and I can start to do it now. And I walk to work every day. I couldn't walk 100 meters, now I walk 3 miles every day to work.
Wow, that's fantastic. Ari, thank you so much for sharing your testimony, your story.